Hey, so this is Group 23's data visualization project. As the heading suggests, we worked on the WebMD dataset given to us by the professor. As you all know, WebMD is an online forum that's just a one-stop shop for the latest news, information, and services regarding the health care. It's an online community that enables users around the world, around the globe, to post any health-related questions. And this community also contains health experts who would share the answers to the questions posted by different people and help them get a cure to the disease that they're suffering from. Uh, with respect to this project, we were given the data set. Sorry, the data set was given to us by the professor, but we also had to scrape some amount of data from WebMD, as we felt that we had to use this data to make our visualization better. The first step in the process was to basically to clean the data that we had, and we had to do a lot of pre-processing because we felt that a lot of values were missing, certain tags to topics were not found. So certain questions had topics and certain questions in, for which the questions that had topics, we used it, and for the questions which didn't have, we applied topic modeling on the answer data that was given to us and found the related topics that could be attached to that particular question or the answer. So with respect to the first visualization I would like to talk about is the find the expert visualization. So the find the expert visualization is a concept map that basically maps a particular expert to the area to the medical area in which they're good at. So a set of symptoms or diseases are given on the concept map that you see here, and those experts are listed on the sites. So there's no any particular order in which these experts are listed, and they are in a random order. But the important part of this concept map is that there's not just one mapping. So there's a mapping from the other side as well. Because if it was just one mapping, I could have just used a list and not a concept map. So so if I go across these experts, it'll also tell me what each expert is good at. So what this visualization tells you is that like this expert I've clicked on is basically good at answering questions with respect to abdomen or ulcer or vitamins. That's what this is, and if I like over on one of these topics, it tells me which expert's opinion should I take. So how does it help a customer? So instead of going through the entire WebMD website to look for the answers to these topics, what they can do is instead come to our webpage, click on our find the expert visualization, and look for the topics that they're search for the topics they're looking for, and we will give them the right expert to vouch for. So that was the first visualization that he came up with. The second visualization I would like to talk about is the what is trending visualization. That purely tells you on a given day or given date, right, a period of time, what are the topics that were trending. So what can we do with this visualization? What can we do is predict an outbreak of a disease. So imagine in the year of 2010, and in the month of May, if I say click around 6 days, and I want to find out if there's been any outbreak in that period, then based on clicking multiple days, I would see a bubble chart on the side, and this bubble chart depicts the amount of topics that were the most prominent topics that were discussed in this time. So these were purely the top 10 topics, and this will give an idea as to what is trending on the website in this given period of time. So any healthcare patient who wants to search for such topics, these topics would be right at the top, and they'll get an idea, they'll get a feeling that they're not alone. So everyone is undergoing through this process, everyone has some problems with respect to a particular infection. So this is a good idea as to find out whether there's been a mass outbreak or not. The other visualization I would like to talk about is the user activity. So since WebMD is a website, as we know, all that we wanted to do was analyze the traffic on the website. So we used a heat map like the one that you find on GitHub and other websites that tells you the amount of traffic or that the website has gone through on a given day and date. This is spread across months and years and not days. And the color combination that we used here is quite interesting, because when you see the light yellow at the top here, that just says that there's not been that much activity that happened in this time. But the darker it goes, the better the activity. So the dark blue that you see here just says how much there's been a lot of activity, a lot of questions have been raised, a lot of answers have been posted on the website. So if I click one of these, points here in the heat map, you find out there's couple of graphs that's generated. One is a donut graph, and the other is the scatter plot. So the line graph, I'm sorry. So what this says is that this gives you an idea of the amount of answers posted on that given month and how are they ranging, and based on the number of answers, like the donut chart depicts whether was it a contributor or was it an expert. So the percentage of that's what the donut chart says. And now finally, coming back to the last visualization, this is my favorite. This talks about statistics, aggregate statistics based on days, weekends, weekdays, on a particular day, months, years. Name it and we would have it. So if I click on one of these, right, you would see a word cloud. And what this word cloud tells you is that it prominently shows the amount of topics that were in discussion on the website, and what people were complaining about, what were they talking about, and this gives you an idea. This is not just for a day. This could be over years as well. So this is something that we chose, and the color combination you see predominantly tells you the difference between each topic. And yeah, that was the whole idea behind all these visualizations. The important part of this project, what I learned was how to run these analytic systems, how to gather the data, how to cleanse the data. But the other important part of doing the project was to come up with a solution to exploring the data that is there on WebMD. So there's the data set that was available to us were like in GB. The size of it was like 2 GB. Imagine the real WebMD, that would be in TB, right? So exploring the website would take a lot more time compared to exploring our visualizations. And these visualizations make it pretty clear as to what you're actually seeing. So yeah, that's it for the presentation, and thank you.